Okay, today we're going to begin looking at slope of a line. We're going to do part of this, but not all of it today. So first, slope is used a lot in the real world. You see it in highways, you see it on roofs, stairs. There's all sorts of scenarios in real life that we use slope. It's also called rate of change is another way that you might think about it. So when we're talking about slope, some things that we need to know, it's found by finding the change in rise compared to the run. So you might think about it as rise over run is how you've heard it before. So some other ways, it's the steepness of a line is another way to think about it. Another way is a actual just rise over run. So think about how many up and over it goes. And also notice that slope is with the letter M right here whenever we are talking about slope. And then also from a formula, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that would be if you're given like two ordered pairs, an x1 and a y1, and an x2 and a y2. So you subtract the y's and then you subtract the x's on bottom. So we're going to learn today to find it using the formula and from a graph. So we're going to start if we're given 2 points and we want to find the slope. So think about our formula that we just looked at over there. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is our slope. So we're going to substitute into that. I'm going to let this be x1 and y1, and this point be x2 and y2. So what we're going to do on here is we'll have our slope, subtract our y's, so it would be negative 5 minus 9 over, subtracting our x's, 3 minus negative 6. So then on top, negative 5 minus 9 is negative 14. On bottom, when you're subtracting a negative, you're actually adding. So 3 plus 6 is 9. This cannot simplify. Do not make it a decimal. If you give me a decimal, I will count it wrong. Slope is a fraction. It's rise over run. So here our final answer is just negative 14 over 9. So if we look at another one, I have negative 5, 3, and 2, negative 1. Again, I'm going to let this be x1 and y1. x2 and y2. So now finding our slope in the same formula we've been doing, y2, negative 1 minus 3 over 2 minus negative 5. So this on top, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. 2, again, we're adding right here. I get 7. So negative 4 sevenths. I can't do anything else with that. That is our answer. If I could simplify that, we would need to, but in this case, we can't. So here, another example, again, this is going to be my x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So for our slope, I'm going to have 3 minus 3 over 9 minus negative 6. This gives us 0 over, again, we're adding down here, 15. 0 divided by anything, no matter what's on bottom, is going to be an answer of 0. Okay. And then our last one like this, looking at points again, here's my x1, y1, x2, y2. So our slope, I would have 2 minus negative 1 on top, 2 minus 2 on bottom. So again, we're like adding on top, so this would be 3 over 0. If 0 is on the bottom, remember you cannot divide by 0. So if 0 is on the bottom right here, your answer is undefined. 0 on the top is 0, 0 on the bottom is undefined. So the other thing we talk about when we're talking about slope is we classify it. So positive slope would mean the line slopes up from left to right. So you can just see the slope is the line is going up. Negative slope, the slope goes down from left to right. So you can see it's going down. Read your graph just like you would read across left to right. We have slope of 0, that's just our horizontal line, goes straight across. Our rise is 0, over goes if you think about rise over run. An undefined slope is our vertical line, which is up and down. So you have to be able to recognize finding slope from a graph, which is our next few examples right here. So given this graph, we want to find the slope. So pick a couple points that are perfect. So like here's a point, and here's a point that cross at exactly a right point. So then if you think about it, remember our slope is going to be rise over run. So in this case, if we look at this from this point, I go up 1, 2, so my rise is 2. I went up 2 over 1. If you can simplify it, do so. You can. 2 divided by 1 is 2, so that would be our final answer. Okay, a second one, this one, you can see our line, it just goes up and down right here. Think about classifying it that we just did above it. If there is a slope and it is a vertical line up and down, that means that our slope is undefined. Okay, third one, here again, we need to find 2 points because it's not up and down, or it's not vertical or horizontal. So here's a point, and I would say here's a good point. Make sure you find good points. So finding our slope, remember, rise over run. So from one point, I go up 1, so that's my rise. And I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, but I moved left, so that means it's negative. So in this case, our slope is negative 1/4. I can't do anything else to it. Remember, don't give me a decimal. And our last example that we're doing today is we have a line, it's horizontal, straight across from the classifying that I gave you. A line that goes straight across has a slope of 0. And that's all we are doing today. We'll continue with slope tomorrow. So have a good day and don't forget to finish your assignment.